Hi everyone, this is Bernadette Laxamana, mortgage broker and president here at Carista Mortgage. And joining me today is our VIP Realtor partner, Irene Querubin. Hi Irene, thank you for joining us.
Hello, Bernadette. Thank you for having me. At hello po sa ating mga kababayan.
Yes. So Irene, I'd like us to talk about the new rules. Like there's a big buzz going on, the new rules that the government can make. It's a surprise for everybody. We did not expect it. So let's talk about that. What do you think about those new changes?
Yeah, so recently the government has announced that now the price cap for insured mortgages is up to $1.5 million instead of just 1 million. So what does that mean? Ibig sabihin po niya na if you are planning to purchase a home for a million or up to $1 million, for example, you don't have to come up with a 20% down payment anymore. You can have a down payment less than 20%. So for our buyers, for example, who have great income and they want to purchase a $1 million home, however, they can't come up with 20%, which would be $200,000, even if their income qualifies for it, kaya lang they don't have that 200,000. Well, thankfully this time you don't have to show $200,000 for your deposit. You can have less than 20%. So that's really good for our buyers who are wanting to upgrade, for example, or wanting that $1 million home. So up to 1.5 million, you can have an insured mortgage, you can have a deposit or a down payment less than 20%.
Ayan. And so with that, just to give everybody a proper context, if you are a repeat buyer, you've owned a home before and it's brand new, pwede po kayong also mag 30 years. But if you're not if you're not a first-time home buyer, hindi po kayo pwedeng mag 30 years. Pwede lang po ito kung sa brand new. So again, yung rules po na 1.5 million and 30 years is only available for first-time home buyers. If you are a repeat buyer, you can go 30 years kung binibili niyo po is brand new. Okay? So that's the latest news. Hopefully the government, I really don't understand why they're limiting this to first-time home buyers only. I wish that lahat ng buyer is eligible for a 30-year and a down payment na less than 20%. Pero so far, the government, in their infinite wisdom, is only giving this to first-time home buyers. Okay, so yun siya. So Irene, tell us what's happening in the market right now. What are you seeing? Is it a buyer's market, seller's market? What are you seeing out there, and what's the opportunity?
Yeah, so ngayon na September na po at kakatapos lang ang ating summer, everything is back to normal schedule, back to school ng mga kids. What we're seeing right now is still a slow market, still slow compared to the previous years. Why is that? So the past few months, it's slow because we all know interest rates are, it's not as low as it used to be. So buyers are kind of waiting for more announcement, more decreases in the interest rate. So there's a lot of people just waiting what's going to happen next, waiting for a better deal to come, etc. So what we're seeing right now, for example, for August, for sales, for example, this August 2024, the sales are lower than in August 2023. So it was 17% lower in the greater Vancouver area. Okay.
Wow, that's
Yes.
big. Okay.
70%. So when it comes naman to active listings, what we're seeing is there are more listings coming up. This year, last August, we saw a 21% increase than last August
Oh,
2023. So there are definitely more listings coming up. So that means it's good for buyers because now there are more.
yes.
However, we are also seeing that these listings are staying longer on the market. Now, if you are a buyer, you're planning, perfect time. Take advantage of this because there's less competitors out there. You can probably have a higher chance of getting a better deal out there. So take this time to go out and grab the opportunity. If you're thinking, okay, well, let's just wait for the interest rate to come down, by then, we don't know. It's a risk, right? But what we're
Mhm.
seeing is the market is still um, not as active as the past couple of years. So it's a great time for buyers to take advantage of the opportunity in the market.
Beautiful, beautiful. Speaking of buyers and opportunity in the market, can you tell us a story of a client, the struggle that they face, a client that you help, the struggle that they face, and how they were able to overcome it? So naman, ma-inspire naman yung mga ating viewers out there who's probably going through the same thing.
Absolutely. So when I am working with buyers, isa po sa kadalasang na-encounter ko is the mindset. They're very reluctant to make an offer because the mindset is, oh, it's expensive, it's expensive, it's expensive. And that's true. There's no argument about it. We are in a region in Canada where it's beautiful here. And so it's just given that the real estate market here is expensive. We know that. What happens with this particular client, for example, is we would look at homes, we will make an offer, and then when it's time to, okay, are we gonna remove subjects? Are you gonna go ahead with this? It's expensive. I don't know if it's worth it. And the feeling of fear, you know, a lot of first time buyers, it's a big investment. It's a lot of money to put down. Sometimes we don't know, is this really what I want? It's expensive anyway. Maybe it's just easier to just not do anything. Just don't do anything for now. That fear and that mindset that it's expensive. Okay. So with this particular client, for example, we have made an offer several times, and there's always a reason not to go ahead, whether, minor or if you ask me, the realtor, I would think there's no major problem with the property. It's the fear to move forward. So because of that, the client decided, okay, I'm just gonna stop because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. And I totally respect that. We all go through that in life where I don't know, I'm just gonna pause. And okay, that's fine. And then eventually the client came back and said, I want to start looking again. I think this time I'm ready. Okay, so that's great. I think so when she decided she's ready again, so we started looking at homes again, and there's always a property out there for any buyer for any price. So there's no shortage of properties, okay? So this buyer has decided that this is what I want, and I am gonna go ahead. And we looked at one, and that was that. We had an accepted offer. They've already moved in, and congratulations to her. Um, but I think her realizing that, okay, if I stop, nothing will happen. If I let my fear overcome me, I still won't have that property. Because when she decided, Irene, I'm just going to stop for now. My question to her is, why did you plan on buying a property in the first place anyway? And she said, well, I want to have something na meron akong ipapamana sa aking mga anak. Well, okay, so why are you going to stop then? Sure, it's expensive, but you've been pre-approved, you've been assessed financially. You are able to pay for that every month. You can, based on your finances, you've been pre-approved, you're qualified. So why do you think it's expensive? You are able to come up with that monthly payment. It's the fear, right? The fear of the unknown. It's just fear to move. And so when she paused for a little bit, she realized, okay, I still don't have a property, even if I'm qualified. So she came back this time, realizing that I need to take action, otherwise nothing's gonna happen. And
I
so
think I think what I like about that is you brought it up to what's important about her, the why. And I think for everybody, like I've read so many books, a lot of successful people, when the why is strong enough, the how takes care of itself. But if the why is not very strong, there's so many obstacles that gets in the way. Like every single thing is an obstacle. So I'm glad that you reminded her if the goal is inheritance, legacy for the kids, does it like you don't need the interest rate. You need the property so that you can start building equity in you have that thing that you can hand off to your kids. So I'm
Exactly.
glad. Yeah.
And then another thing that I see a lot in clients is the lack of clarity. For example, when I go out with clients, for example, and we'll look at different homes, right? Okay, so which one do you like? Well, they're all spread out. I like
Like
this,
this, like this,
but it's
like
not
this.
this. This one I like this, but the bedrooms are small. I like this one, but it's old, but it's in a nice location. Okay, so which one? So it's not clear to them what are you looking for in the property. So I always ask them, okay, there's a lot of things that you want, but because of the budget or because there's limitations for everyone, right? What are the three most important things to you? Is it the location? It has to be close to work. It has to be close to school. It has to be in a nice neighborhood. Or is it the size of the property? Do you want 1,000 square feet? Or are you okay with 600 square feet? Are you okay with two bed and a den? Or does it have to be a three bedroom? So size is important. Or is it okay to just have two bedrooms, but it's in a newer building? Or do you want a three bedroom, but it's in an older building? If you have clarity with what it is that you need, what your family really needs in a property, then you are able to decide better and efficiently. Okay, I want this property, although all three properties are great, but this one fits my family's needs the most. Then you can identify easily. Because what happens is, okay, we're gonna look and you're gonna spend the time, the buyer, you're gonna spend the time looking and looking and looking. And as we are going, we're losing the opportunity. We could have offered there and got that by now, or on
Right.
wait, later until property is going up, things are changing, mortgage rules are changing, it's getting more difficult this time. So there's opportunity costs too when you are delaying because there's no clarity. So it's very
That's
important because with clarity, then you have more conviction to buy and to choose the right one for you. And I
I
think,
think when there's clarity, there's less confusion, and you're right. You can be more convicted because, too many things, right? So that's why even in Costco, they only give you like one thing for some category. If there's like 20 things, you probably can make up your mind. So I'm glad again for you listening to the client, bringing it back to what's truly important to them, providing them that clarity. I think that's how they were able to move forward and get to where they really want to get to,
yes.
buy the home that they really wanted.
And
So
so with
that's
this client, I'm
awesome.
very happy for her because she has two kids and they wanted three bedroom. But because, of course, there's limitations with many things, like for all of us, right? For example, the budget. She was able to identify that it's okay if my kids don't have a bedroom, like each kid has a bedroom. However, it's important that they can walk to school so
There
that
you
I can go
go.
to work. So when we were able to identify that, then we were able to move forward and get one. And
Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm glad. So hopefully all of you guys are listening here. You learned what about the new rules and how it's going to impact you. You learn what's happening in the market right now, how it's a buyer's market, and you learn the importance of what is your why when you're buying, because it's too noisy out there. Like you can get bogged down with all the economic things when your personal economy is the most important thing. And then finally, clarity. Set up your success criteria for the home that you wanted, your top three, because the first home is not your forever home. It's not going to be perfect. But if it can meet those most important things, then you could get your home sooner, build your equity faster, and then you could eventually get to that dream home much sooner as well. So hopefully that is quite helpful to our viewers. Before we close, Arlene, do you have any last minute closing tips for our buyers and our viewers out there?
Yes, absolutely. So, there's a lot of changes on the market right now, interest rates, etc. Mortgage rules are always changing, but I always tell my buyers that anytime is a good time to buy real estate. We all have our own reasons why it's important to us, so take advantage. There are always deals happening out there. We just have to find it. There's a property for every price, for every client. So don't ever feel that, oh, I can't find it. It's expensive. You know, there's a lot of reasons, but if we know what we want, we will get there if we know how to.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Irene. If you have any real estate questions, reach out to Irene. We will send you her contact information. Any real estate questions, go to Irene. Any mortgage, money, financing questions, please reach out to me, Bernadette Laxamana, a mortgage broker and president here at Carista Mortgage. Enjoy the rest of your day.